Good evening and a very warm welcome to India Matters on Wednesday night. Now, Operation Sindoor, the hostilities between India and Pakistan may be on pause. That doesn't mean, however, that the battles have actually ended, except this time I'm talking about some big military-related political battles, and that's what we're starting with tonight. A political dogfight has broken out, viewer. No, not in the skies, but firmly on the ground over India's most important military aircraft maker, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which, as you know, is owned by the government. Now, at the center of this storm is Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, reportedly lobbying hard to land HAL's next big aircraft manufacturing facility in his state, which is Andhra Pradesh. And he's not hiding it. He smells a rare generational opportunity. But Karnataka, which is home base for HAL, is not amused at all. HAL has traditionally been synonymous with Karnataka. Bengaluru is HAL's headquarters, its cultural home, and the hub of India's aerospace brain trust. So when powerful Karnataka ministers like DK Shivakumar and MB Patil hit back, they weren't just being defensive, they were guarding what they believe is rightfully theirs. They invoked Kannada pride, promised land infrastructure, and went as far as to say HAL doesn't need to look outside Karnataka at all for its expansion plans. But Chief Minister Naidu in neighboring Andhra Pradesh sees this moment as a turning point. After all, Operation Sindoor has just shown the world and the government that India needs to scale up its war readiness very fast. That means more fighter aircraft, more drones, more missiles, more ammunition. HAL, as India's principal military aircraft manufacturer, well, pretty much the only game in town, will be at the heart of this production surge. More factories will be essential, and Naidu wants a piece of that. He has opened up an offer already for 10,000 ready-to-use acres of land for any expansion, just 70 kilometers from the Bengaluru airport that the Andhra government says is not about grabbing or relocating any HAL facilities, but plugging into the expanding aerospace hub of Karnataka that's close to the border with Andhra Pradesh. And why? Because this is Chief Minister Naidu's shot at redemption. The bifurcation of Andhra and Telangana left Andhra with virtually nothing in aerospace manufacture. Hyderabad, with its thriving defense industrial ecosystem, went to Telangana. Naidu, once hailed as a tech visionary, is now looking to use his renewed power and his crucial status, perhaps, as a key NDA ally at the center to pull defense investment into Andhra Pradesh. The stakes are massive, viewer. Thousands of jobs, billions in investment, and long-term strategic relevance. Now, Chief Minister Naidu understands this. He knows this. So does Karnataka. And that's why the state is punching hard. Because for years now, despite Karnataka's amazing industrial legacy, the state has been battling headlines of crumbling infrastructure, delays, and investment flight. Losing HAL in any way, or even a piece of its future, to Andhra would be a body blow. There's no question of relocating anything, but what about the new facilities that HAL needs to set up? The truth is, HAL does need to expand. The Tejas fighter aircraft line, the future stealth fighter AMCA, the twin-engine deck-based fighters, and even unmanned combat systems that have played such a big role in Operation Sindoor, the demand is only going to go up geometrically. The private sector will take some of the load, but the state-run giant we know as HAL will have to lead. That means new facilities, new supply chains, new hubs. Some of it will have to remain in Karnataka because that is where the headquarters and the ecosystem is. But as Karnataka Minister MB Patil himself said, states are lobbying hard, and Andhra Pradesh, being right there next to Karnataka, sniffs a piece of the action. Some of it could be up for grabs, and political considerations of the kind that Naidu can boast of could play a potential part. And what we're seeing now is the first real political battle for those potential spoils. A battle that's not just about Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, it's about which state gets to be on the front line of India's defense industrial revolution. The message from Andhra is clear, we want in. The message from Karnataka is even clearer, not at our expense. Now let's go across to two reporters who understand issues in Andhra, Telangana and Karnataka better than anyone else. My esteemed colleagues Sudhir joining us live from Hyderabad tonight, Deepak Bopanna from Bengaluru. To you first. This tug-of-war that we are seeing between Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, triggered obviously by the very emotive statements of at least two big ministers in Karnataka, is not surprising at one level. But how are you reading Chandrababu Naidu on the one hand saying, there is no intention to grab anything from Karnataka, this is about expansion, and on the other hand readying 10,000 acres and saying, if things are to expand, we are ready to take you in?
So Chandrababu Naidu is actually doing what he does best in terms of pitching his state as an ideal destination and laying out the red carpet in many senses. And he knows that it is land that Karnataka really may not be able to give in the same manner as in Anantapur, Lepakshi specifically, just 70 kilometers from the border with Karnataka, and therefore very strategically placed. And these kind of defense units will require setbacks as well. All that is possible in Lepakshi, in Anantapur, and that is what Chandrababu Naidu is marketing. But Chandrababu Naidu also likes to project himself as that statesman who is for development and somebody who looks at the national picture, and therefore he is saying, I don't believe in taking away projects from others, and that's not what I was pitching for at all. And he in fact said that strategic and very important installations like these cannot be moved, and I do not want them to be moved either. But he also in the same speech in fact made a reference to Hyderabad, where you were also mentioning earlier about Hyderabad being such an important defense hub as well, with important institutions like the DRDO here. He said, I am responsible for the high per capita income in Hyderabad, and in this case now his responsibility is to make sure something like that happens in Andhra Pradesh as well. And he's certainly going to leverage the kind of a political equation he has within the NDA with the center, and therefore try to get the units. And what we understand from our sources in the center as well, that yes, they are favorably inclined towards looking at Andhra Pradesh as that place where the defense hub can develop, as is being suggested by the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister.
Indeed, because Chandrababu Naidu has the kind of political muscle to be able to leverage this kind of thing, and we're talking about enormous investments, and it's not like it wouldn't make sense considering the big border that Andhra Pradesh already has with Karnataka. But Deepak, the reactions from Mr. Shivakumar, Mr. M.B. Patil are not surprising. HAL in many ways is like a crown jewel of the aerospace ecosystem that Karnataka has always called its own. And it looks like Karnataka is going to take this very seriously. Naidu may have watered down the reports and said, I'm not looking to take anything from other states. But let's be very clear, what's up for grabs is very big, and Karnataka is in no mood to see it leave.
Absolutely. And, in the past as well, when there was a talk that the Aero India itself will be shifted out of Bengaluru, we saw a lot of political reactions, sharp ones that came in from the Congress party in particular. Now, with even a slight hint of possible HAL plants, even the new ones being set up in any other state, has, invoked some serious political reactions. Now, while, of course, the Industries Minister has made it amply clear, yes, there may not be a possibility of really relocating HAL, but even if there is an opportunity for new setups to be done, that should be done in Karnataka, in and around Bengaluru, because the ecosystem here is already set. So, for the defense industries, at least about 67% of the aerospace industry comes from Karnataka and Bengaluru. So, everything is ready for them to come here, set up base, and more importantly, manufacture and even continue to promote it as well. But is that something that's feasible? Bengaluru has already reached its limit in many ways. There's already a massive plant for helicopter manufacturing set up in Tumkuru. The Prime Minister himself inaugurated it a couple of years ago. Now, whether other parts of Karnataka, tier 1, tier 2 cities, are they actually capable of giving this sort of a land like Andhra Pradesh is promising? Well, the Industries Minister definitely believes so. At the end of the day, of course, it's the decision to be made by the centre. We'll really have to see, once a decision is made, how it will play out politically.
Beyond the political power that Naidu obviously wields within the NDA government, it's been 1 year since his big return as Chief Minister. Chandrababu Naidu is obviously, as you mentioned, also known as an industry and investment friendly leader in the state. is Andhra ready for this? In the last 1 year, have things happened? Have things changed in order to receive the kind of big high-tech investments that he's looking at?
Absolutely. Andhra Pradesh is ready and waiting, I must say, because Chandrababu Naidu has that experience of laying out the green carpet, as I mentioned earlier, the red carpet, should I say, for investors to come in. And he, the technical know-how, the kind of educated people that you require, the kind of talent that you require, human resource, all that, as you know, is available in Andhra Pradesh. And all that belt that we are talking about is going to be catering to that kind of demand from the industry, and proximity with Bengaluru, just 70 kilometers away from that border.
Yeah.
In the past as well, Naidu has pitched that area and brought industry to that area. And right now, at a time from Amravati is located up north, in the coastal region.
Yes.
He needs to do something for Rayalaseema, and he knows that this is something that is ideal for that region, and therefore pitching it in the right way to the center. Back to you.
Very interesting. And Deepak, HAL is going to have a very interesting time ahead. Obviously, they don't take these big decisions which are strategic in nature. It's the Ministry of Defence which administers HAL. But there must be a lot of intrigue within HAL over what's really going to happen. Okay, I think we've lost that link okay, Deepak, if you could hear my question. The decision ultimately will be with the government, because this is a political decision. HAL will not be deciding it, but there must be a huge amount of intrigue, because HAL does very quickly need to set up new facilities.
Absolutely. Now, the demand within HAL, and more importantly, from the Air Force as well, from the HAL, has been growing. After, of course, there was the LCAs, that the massive order that came in from the Indian Air Force. HAL in itself, be it the production of drones, be it the production of or the planning of the 5th generation aircrafts, AMCA is something that this time HAL spoke about quite in a promising fashion. For all this, they'll need a really big setup, and that is not something that probably one state alone can provide for. If it does, can Karnataka really take that entire load? Is sharing an option? How does the center really view it? HAL as a manufacturing facility in itself, are they going to really move into manufacturing of engines as well, which right now we are dependent on other countries for this, in terms of not just labor or manpower. They'll also of course need many people apart from the skilled sector as well. So which state is best equipped? These are all factors that need to be really considered.
Okay, Uma and Deepak, thanks very much for adding insight into this. I learned quite a bit about these two states, and I have mixed feelings. Karnataka has been the traditional home of HAL. Many would say there is no reason to move but to boost the ecosystem there. But given the scenario after Operation Sindoor, one wonders if there is space for a much larger expansion. We'll have to see where the chips actually fall. Uma and Deepak, thanks so much for joining me here on India Matters.